Hello everybody and welcome back to TMI with your host, Imogen. Woohoo! Honeybees. I'm looking down at the screen here because I've got my microphone here. I basically want it there, but it's probably better if I actually talk into it, isn't it? But I feel like it's going to be too loud. What if I move her here? I just feel like I wanted her sitting there, but I also think it looks a bit dodgy if you're looking at me on YouTube. I don't know if anyone's actually going to be listening with their headphones, but if you are, then I'll try to be a bit more ASMR and cute vibes. But hello, I'm hoping you're not watching me on YouTube because of the state that I'm in. I really wanted to get glam and look really fit and just feel myself, but I couldn't because I'm going to be honest with you. This day that I'm filming, I have both the girls off with me. Renelia is off nursery. She's not in nursery today, it's not her day. And Orievella's just sleeping at the moment, but she's not managed to do that long a sleep. So I got my dad in, I got the troops in, so I could come out and film. No. If someone's just unlocked their car, then we're screwed, honeybees. Is someone coming? I feel like I just heard something. I don't know where to park and film this stuff. It's too intense for me. The place I wanted to film before, there's so many cars, I couldn't sit there. I'm just going to keep talking, by the way. I don't actually like editing these. I've only done one. I don't like editing these. There's only one, Imogen. There's only one. Don't worry about it, hon. Oh my god. I'm talking like I've done about 75. But I don't want them to feel edited. I just literally want to speak at you. It might sound a bit like too much or too long, but I just want to bring the old school YouTube back where I just used to sit and tell stories. And I feel like that is what I'm meant to do. So, it's called TMI if you're new here because it's too much IMO. Too much IMO and too much info. I know it's cringe, but I feel like I am Mrs. TMI. I also was thinking about something yesterday. It could be too much emotion. TMI, too much emotion. I know, my name was perfect. My name is actually perfect. It's not perfect, but my mum actually hated it. When she was pregnant, my dad really wanted the name Imogen because he wanted to call me after his actress that he fancied, Imogen Stubbs. And I think she actually went to my school in the end, her daughter or her son. It was her daughter. No, that wasn't. That was another one. That was another actress he fancied. Her daughter went to my school. But anyway, hello. What a busy, eventful, amazing week. No, I'm joking. I have two children. Like, is it going to be that eventful? It's going to be busy, but am I going to be going out clubbing and, like, loving my life? Probably not. I do love my life, but just in a different way, honeybees. Just in a different way. I have actually been a bit wild this week. I'm not going to lie to you. Went in the sauna. Went in a sauna on the seafront. Like, are you joking me? I know. I absolutely know. I was wild. So basically, there's this sauna down the seafront. There's two. There's one in Shoreham and one in Brighton. If you're not from this ends, if you're not from the ends, girls, and I'm joking, if you're not from down here, then yeah, there's just a longer part of the seafront. But basically, apparently this one gets way hotter. So my dad and Spencer and Hugo all went in the other one before, and then they went in this one. They were like, this one's way hotter. So anyway, you go in the sauna with like 8 people, 7 other people, and you. Well, sometimes it's smaller, but I don't think it does because he absolutely smashes it. And you go in the sauna and you sit there, and it is not a normal sauna, okay? This heat, I have never felt heat like it. And then do you know what my husband decided to do? He decided to pour some water. He was like, is everyone up for it? And they were all absolute regulars. Like, they regularly come to these saunas. And there's me like, yeah, go for it. And I'm sitting on the top deck. Now, the top bit's the hottest. But everyone wants to be up there. It was like a competition to get up there. So I'm sat there. And it's getting really hot. And I'm like, and then Spencer's like, puts this water on it. And it just goes, psst, and it literally feels like you can't breathe. It's unlike any heat I've ever felt in my little 30 years of living. It was like in my face. It was like, you know, you lift up a boiling pan and like steam's in your face, or you open the dishwasher and you're like, what is that? It was like that, but like multiply it by 10. And I was wearing this necklace. Why was I wearing a necklace? And I was wearing a hair clip. I was wearing a hair clip because I thought that would be the good thing. Next time I'm going to wear a hairband. The hair clip melted. The hair clip melted. It actually literally went and just like cracked. And I really liked it. It was such a pretty hair clip. But let's be honest, it's probably £1.50 from Primark, and I will be going and getting another one. But you know when you have an attachment? And I came out and the guy was like, oh, you didn't wear your hair clip. I was like, I did, hun. and I will be suing you. No, I'm joking. But it was amazing. So before I got in there, why's that down? I think I got a door open in here, hun buns. Does that mean the alarm's going to go off? It says there's a door open. I don't want to touch the doors. Okay, so before I went in there was this lady and she was like, "Are you going to go in the sea?" I was like, absolutely not. But looking at her like, "You're amazing." By the way, I'm probably in love with this woman. I don't know who she is, but I literally love her. And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I want to, but I'm a bit like, I'm going to be really bad." I said to her, "I literally feel the cold unlike anything you've ever felt in your life." I say that, but I don't know. I think I'm anemic. My lips are always blue 24/7, so there you go. Anyway, I was there and I was like, "I don't think I can do this." And she was like, "Listen, the only thing that motivates me is the fact that I've given birth and I can do anything." And I'm like, "Do you know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it." So there's an ice bath and then you can go into the sea. You can do either or, but apparently the sea's harder. So Spencer, of course, wants to go in the sea. Honeys, you won't believe it. Do you know what? In a way, I like proving people wrong. And I was hyping myself up so much in the sauna, saying like, "I'm so bad, I'm so rubbish." And they were all probably thinking, "God, this guy's not going to last a second in that sea." And basically where the sauna is, you can see out to the sea. It's like one big window. So they're looking at me and they're all like, "Nah, she's not doing this." And I think that I've always had that way of life. Like I've always put myself down so that when something good happens, I'm like, "This is amazing." Or I don't know if it's just a coping mechanism or if it's just the fact that I have anxiety severely and my worries literally can just like overload my brain and like feel like they're just exploding, and it's constant in here. Like it's constant. You know when people are like, "Just switch it off," or "just mind over matter," I'm like, yeah, no. The only thing that works is meditation for me, like a 10-minute guiding meditation where they actually speak so much at me that I can't think about anything else. So a guided meditation is the only thing that works. Literally only 10 minutes because I can't do any longer, because my brain will start going. But the 10 minutes does help because I'm like, wow. And Pilates helps. When I do Pilates, I don't think about anything because they're like, "Breathe in here." And I'm so worried about fanny farting. I am so worried about doing a fanny fart because they're like pulling you up and making you like zip up. And I'm like, wow, I'm going to suck this air into my vagina right now. That I'm thinking about everything so much that I can't think about anything else. And it's wonderful because it's like 50 minutes once or twice a week where my brain is actually not switched on. It's wonderful. I'm telling you, even when I'm asleep, my brain's switched on thinking about worries. It's actually the worst at night, isn't it? Let's be honest. But anyway, they're looking at me off on a tangent as per usual. I should just call this tangents because that's me. Sorry if this is really loud, by the way. I'm thinking that the levels are going to be quite loud. So I do really apologise. I won't change it this week, but I'll change it next week. So yeah, there I am. And they're all looking out this window at me. And I'm like setting up my camera. And before I came in, I was like, "Oh, I want to film it." And they were like, "What, so you can prove you did it or something?" Like they were like, "Oh, so you can prove you did it?" And I was like, "No." I'm not telling them like I want to document it because I want to share it with my followers on social media. Didn't want to tell them that. So I was like, "No, just because otherwise, you know, it's just nice to share with my friends, you know, or to look back on to be proud of." It was actually that as well, though. Like, it's nice because I know when I'm older, I'm going to be like, "I was such a pussy when I was younger." And then I'll be like, "Do you know what? I wasn't. There I was in the sea." Anyway, it was a freezing cold day. It was absolutely freezing. And yes, the sauna does help. But the walk to the sea, you're kind of getting a bit cold. But you are still warm. So I walked to the sea and then trying to set up this tripod, like try and build some rocks around each other so that people could, you know, you can see on the tripod. Anyway, I did amazing. I did amazing. I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but I actually did amazing. Like I literally smashed it. You wouldn't even believe it. Like Spencer wanted to get out and I was like, "I feel amazing. I don't want to get out." Spencer wanted to get out. Spencer was like, "Oh my God, I do cold showers every day." And you were the one. I think it must have been like my first time, or just the fact that I was just so motivated by not proving people, yeah, I guess, like motivated to be like, people think I'm this like, I don't know, it's probably because it's my own anxiety. I make myself sound like it because I think I've told you guys before, but when I used to do dance or when I used to do any competition or anything or any audition for anything, I'd come out and call my agent and be like, "Didn't get it." My agent would be like, "Oh no." And then they'd be like, "You got a call back. They loved you." And I'd be like, I think I just put myself down. So it's like I don't know. I don't really know. We're not going to psychoanalyse me now, but that is me. But yeah, I did it and I was so empowered, and then we kept doing it, and then I went in the ice bath and I just felt amazing. I know it sounds so pathetic, but I literally felt so empowered after that. I was like, I can actually pretty much do anything here. And I was breathing through it like I breathed in labour. And I got back in the sauna and they were like, how did you find it? I was like, yeah, it was just like breathing through labour. And they like were like, breathing through labour. There was this one man that was like, I don't think he was the biggest like fan of me, which I understand because we're stuck in this pod for an hour trying to talk. But I didn't really speak to be fair. I just let everyone else speak, and then was just sort of complimenting everyone on swimming. Everyone kept coming back in and I'd be like, you were amazing. And then the one woman who I literally love, she was amazing. She was like, she was so nice. And there was another couple in there that was so nice. Just this one man and woman, I felt like they weren't really loving the vibes. They weren't really loving the vibes. They were kind of like, you can shut up now, hun. You know what I mean? But anyway, me and Spencer were kind of just enjoying it. It was really nice to have like an hour just of us. Oriavella was asleep at home. Renee was at nursery, and Dad had Oriavella here while she slept. But another thing that happened to me this week, and I really wanted to talk about it, was my daughter called me beautiful. And that's actually the first time she's done that. So she got this mirror up to me and she was like, Mummy, you're beautiful. Mummy's beautiful. And I was like, my heart literally sank, because I was like, in your eyes, I am stunning. It's going to make me cry now. But I was like, you actually think I'm beautiful? Like, I know what it's like, because when I was younger, I looked at my mum and I was like, she's my idol. I think she's stunning. I think she's beautiful in every way, shape and form. And I then in that moment thought, I have children that are going to idolise me. And in that specific moment, I'm not going to lie to you, listen, we've all got insecurities. I've got insecurities about my face. I've got insecurities about my body. Like, everyone does, let's be honest. Like, yeah, I'm not going to go and list them so much, whatever, but everyone has them. And I have insecurities about my personality. Like, no one's perfect. Every single person has that. You know, sometimes when you're coming on your period and you feel bloated and you're like, meh, or whatever, just any days. And I've said this from the beginning of YouTube, like, I really don't like, I really didn't like growing up the bump in my nose. I've got like a bump in my nose. And I remember being like, when I was younger, I think I've told you this before, but for anyone new here, this boy was like, oh, you're the most attractive girl at school, but you've got a bump in your nose. Or like, you're the prettiest in the class. But then actually, the girl who I really fell out with, and she was like my best friend, and I've done YouTube videos about it and stuff, I actually loved her so much because she's the person that really made me love it at one point. She was like, I love the fact that it has like a little bump, and then you go up to like a little ski jump, but it like goes up at the end. And I remember being like, thank you, that's such a nice thing to say. And I think, you know, sometimes we can get the selfie camera and I'm like, oh my god, I hate it or whatever. But actually, I would never change it. I would never change it. Like, listen, by the way, I'm not saying anything against surgeries to anyone, because if you're really insecure about something and that's something you've considered and you've looked into, I'm not going to start talking about surgeries. I'm not going to start talking about surgeries. I don't want to offend anyone. I'm just saying, for me, imagine Oriavella or Renalia or any of my babies get my nose. It's my dad's nose, it's some of my grandma's nose, like I've got bits of each of them, and a bit of my mum's nose. What would I don't think I could tell them, for me, this is me, I don't think I could look at them and be like, you're so beautiful and you're amazing, and then they came back to me and they were like, I don't feel it, I hate my nose or hate this, and I'd be like, well, so did I, and I changed it. Because surely then they will want to change it. And I know that's a weird way of looking at it, and please just, I'm not offending anyone. If you want to get anything done, you do whatever you've got to do, I'm just saying. And if you want to not get anything done, you don't need anything, you're perfect. Just, this is my own outlook. And I guess on this podcast, by the way, YouTube thing, I'm kind of not trying to please anyone. I just am talking outwardly. So I think so much of my YouTube channel, I've been so like, oh my god, I'm going to offend that person by saying this. I'm just putting this out there. I will always do a disclaimer. I'm not going to offend anyone. If you're offended, that's not by me saying anything to you. This is me. This is my life. This is how I want to live, how I want to be. These are my opinions. These aren't yours. And like, we know everyone's entitled to their opinion, so just for my own children and me, I just feel like, yeah, maybe not. Maybe I am beautiful, and you think I'm beautiful, and yes, I am beautiful, and it was so empowering. It was so empowering, and I think the beauty standards have changed so much in life now. And listen, I've got so many wrinkles in my forehead, and I've got smile lines, and I've got crow's feet. And I did win Most Expressive Award at my university, which was an acting and dancing degree and singing degree. So hear me out. I think that's the best. I think that's the best award you can win. Like, people got like most attractive. Da da da. I would rather win Most Expressive Face, because that's what we need in this industry. Like, but yeah, and sometimes I look and I get loads of people say it to me, like on TikTok especially, because there's a younger audience. They're like, "Oh, you look old," or things like that. And listen, I'm 30. Like, 30's not old, but 30's probably older to them because they're younger, or people want to give hate, and I get it. Things like that are water off a duck's back. You can say what you want about me. I have my own insecurities. It's not going to make me more insecure, and it's not going to make me any less insecure. So, whatever. And this is me being completely genuinely authentic and honest. Sometimes I do think, like, well, a little bit of Botox would make my makeup look better, because, people under their under eyes get like some filler, and it makes their under eyes look seamless and flawless. And I'm like, do you know what? They look amazing. So do I. I look amazing. And I can't get anything done because I'm breastfeeding, pregnant my whole life, I think. I've been breastfeeding for 2.5 years. I feel like it's my character trait at the moment, but no. I've been breastfeeding 2.5 years, and I've been pregnant and breastfeeding for over 3. Because obviously I was pregnant for 9 months before. So your girl's not tampering with anything. And I feel like just that one moment with my daughter, my eldest daughter, who's 2.5, I just felt like, yeah, I am beautiful. I am beautiful inside now. And as long as they know that their heart has to be more beautiful than their outside for me, like, they are, protect your beautiful hearts, my girls, my babies. Like, I just would rather be called a beautiful soul than a beautiful, face and body or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, it was just a really random thing that happened. It really made me reflect, and I just felt really like, wow. And I guess this week I've kind of been a bit lost in some respects, because I felt like I don't really know where I fit, because like my social media platforms are all so different. Obviously I started predominantly on YouTube, and I love YouTube so much, but I'm like, I feel like longer content now people aren't really up for. Like, people want the shortness, people want the quickness, and then I'm like, maybe I should be uploading on shorts. Like, I think it has got me down a bit, because I'm like, I love YouTube so much and I want to get back to it, but I know that I'll just keep going with it and keep putting out content, and in the hopes that people watch it. But I feel like on my Instagram I do like dancing, and like I do improvisational acting pieces with Spencer, and like comedy vibes or whatever. And then on my TikTok it's just a random amount of everything. But on YouTube I feel like I've lost my space. I used to do makeup. I used to do like testing new makeup. I used to do pretty little thing hauls and all those things. And now it's like, I don't really think I do. I definitely don't do that content anymore. But I'm like, I guess because I've evolved and my life's evolved, things have changed. And I'm going to be honest with you, I just don't know where I sit. Like, I'll put up a thing on Instagram, like, what content do you want to see? And I get such a mix of things, because I guess my channel has always been mixed. It was always like clothing things, then it was like challenges with my family. So I guess I got different audiences. Like some people on YouTube literally do like cleaning videos, aesthetic videos, and days in the life. And their videos bang because that's every week is coming back for something. But I feel like I've picked up so many different audiences from being a mum, and then some people that aren't mums, and some people that just want to watch this story time. And that's what I think I've definitely struggled with. Because I know that, I know that my views aren't the same. Oh my goodness, I'm not stupid to it. Does it get me down? It doesn't really get me down. I sometimes do think, oh, like, I love YouTube. I wish people watch my YouTube more, because I feel like I still bring stuff to the table, but I get it. There are better creators. There are more interesting creators. My channel isn't the same as what it used to be, so I get it. But I'm still going to keep uploading and still being present because I enjoy it. First and foremost, like, do I make money off YouTube anymore? No. I think YouTube's changed for everyone, and that's fine. But I don't really do it. I loved it before. I never made money with it. And I think I love the space. I love being able to, like, look, I just love being able to talk to a camera. And on my TikTok and my Instagram, I don't get this length of time to just be me. And I think I just really love that. But yeah, that's why I feel like this is my favourite thing to do, because just being with you guys and just being able to talk is like amazing. Does that sound cringe? That probably sounds really cringe, doesn't it? I don't know. I'm just a massive cringy gal. And I think that that's okay, because, oh my God, this is what I was going to say to you. I should really write a note of like what I should speak about, because my brain was just going a bit wild there and I didn't really know what to speak about, but that's absolutely fine. I should write like a post-it note that goes here. But I watched One Day on Netflix. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I actually can't breathe. What actually happened? I have read the book. I've watched the film. And it's still, it screwed me emotionally. I didn't stop crying properly for about 4 days. And I'm now rewatching it, but only the bits. I haven't even told Spencer this, but when I'm waiting for Anelia to go to sleep upstairs and I'm like waiting outside her door or waiting outside Oriavella's door or doing the dream feed, I watch the bits of One Day that I like, where Dexter and Emma are together. And I don't watch the bits where I can't cope with. I'm not going to give any spoilers because I know that lots of people wouldn't have watched it, but go and watch it. But just know, it's a grower. Like, I feel like people are like, I didn't really get into it until like the end bits. You have to watch the lows, you have to watch the highs, you have to watch them fall apart, you have to watch them cut. Like, why are they both such amazing actors as well? I can't cope. He is incredible. Me and Spencer were literally in awe of him. The different Dexters and the different levels that he shows, I was like, this can't be real. And at the beginning with her, I actually was a bit like, because I'd never watched her in anything before. She's a comedic actress. She was in This Is Going to Hurt on BBC. I haven't watched it, but I thought like, oh, maybe it's a bit witty and dry, but that is how Emma is meant to be. And also, she just encapsulated and embodied all of it. And I was like, no, this can't be real. And I went on TikTok and I did like a crying video, because I was like, no one should ever watch it. It was just my raw emotions after it finished. And I think it got 1 million views. And I was like, I look so ugly. I look so ugly when I cry. I look so ugly. I'm like, if you're watching this and not listening, then just know. If you're not watching it, then you have missed out on the most epic crying face just then. Like, what does Kim K do? I just think I can move my face in absolutely. I've got a very wide face and I love it. I absolutely love it. I love my little moon face. Because, you know what, I was looking back at baby photos of me, and Oriavella actually looks quite like my baby photo. She looks really like my mum. She'll probably change, but in my baby photo, so I'm like, but it'll probably change. She'll probably look just like her dad. But actually, she looks just like my mum. Like, my Spencer's like, the only person I see is your mum. And obviously, Renelia looks so much like Spencer, and so much like Hugo. So I'm yet to have one that really looks like me. Maybe. Imagine I have a boy and he's just like my twin. I don't think that's going to happen, but don't you think? You see mums and sons that look alike, and then you see daughters that look like their dads. But I'm getting more like my mum as I get older. But yes, One Day, please. Why did they do that to us? And I'm sure it's because it was written by a man who didn't want us to not cry at the end. It was produced and directed by women, I think. And I loved so much of what they showed. I can't explain it to you. I know this sounds pathetic, but I actually felt like it hurt my heart. I was like, and I knew they're not real. I know that they're not real people, but I guess it's because, being completely honest, I'm a Pisces, by the way, for anyone watching or listening. And I really feel like I am a Pisces to my core. Like, I embody everything to do with Pisces. I am so emotional, such an empath. Like, it's beyond. It's too much. But you know what? You can never have too much emo. TMI. Woo, woo, woo. No, but being completely serious, I don't dislike it, but I really feel as though the way I am is an anomaly. Like, I'm a bit of an outsider in the way that I feel so deeply. I know lots of people feel deeply, but don't show it as much and whatever, and we're all different. But I hate the fact that society thinks we all have to be the same. Like, people are like, oh my God, she cries too much. And it's like, but you don't, and that's okay. I don't care if you don't cry. You shouldn't care that I cry. I just think we should all just be ourselves, and how beautiful are we? That's what I want you to think today, after this, that you don't need children, and you don't need externals. Like, I literally looked at Renee when she said I'm beautiful, and I thought, that's annoying in a way that you have put this into perspective for me. Can you hear the rain, by the way? The English weather, we can't talk about it. We can't talk about this weather. If you're hearing it, then this microphone's shit. But also if you're hearing it, then the weather's shit too. But yeah, I looked at Renee and thought, you're just perfect in every way, shape and form, and they always will be perfect. And that is just unconditional love. Like, whatever they do, no matter how much it may be naughty, may be bad when they get older or whatever, I will give them boundaries, I will give them guidance, but I will never turn my back on them. I will never turn my back on them. They're my babies. I love them unconditionally. And, you know, like, my little brother does my nut sometimes. He does my nut, and I'm like, wow. Like, I remember being pregnant, really heavily pregnant with Oriabella. And Hugo was down, and he was just on a wild one, and I was like, I can't take this. But then I was like, but I love him unconditionally, so when he does my head in, we might have a little argument, but I'm like, we will always come back to each other. Like, it's the same with all my family, and I think Spencer loves that about me and my family, how we literally we're like, he thinks we're like Italians, we can be like, fuck off, or whatever, and then we literally, like, 15 minutes later, like, I'm sorry, I love you, this is what happened, and we talk about it, and we love to talk about it. And yeah, that's what me and Spencer are doing lately. Like, we're getting into bed at night and we're just talking about our day and just having a little reflection, having a little chat about things that we loved, having a little bit of chat about things that we didn't necessarily love, and just talking. And I think it's so important. But yeah, I kind of looked at my daughter and was like, I don't ever want you to have to be the person that makes me feel beautiful. I am beautiful, and I will tell myself that, and I will always know that. I don't want my children or my husband to validate how beautiful I am, inside and out. I want to feel that myself, and that's something that I can only do, and I am. And I think postpartum wise, I lost myself a little bit, because you're not in your old clothes yet, and like, I feel like it's 6 months postpartum, I always feel like I'm back to me. That's what I felt with Renalia, and this is what I felt with Oriabella anyway. But how long have I been speaking for? 27-ish minutes. So I really hope you enjoyed 27-ish minutes of me chatting shit. And I really hope you like this, and I love talking to you guys. I'll come back in 2 weeks with some more, and I was going to put this to you guys if anyone's listening and watching. I was wondering if anyone wanted me to do, like, testing TikTok things on YouTube, because I see that people do that, and I really like doing that because I buy so much from TikTok. We buy, like, food bits, gadgets, clothes, makeup. So yeah, bit of a random one. I'm also just going to do content I enjoy, because if people aren't really watching it that much, I just want to do things that I like, and hopefully you guys will like. You know, the old school hauls, the old school family vlogs. Like, I'm just going to do it, and I enjoy it, and that's all that matters, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. And I just want to say thank you, and I love you, and I know people don't like saying that, and people don't like it when I say I love you, but I do. Okay. I'm really glad I don't have to edit this. Like, I don't even have to make any cuts. It's really, really nice. And I've got 1 minute left on my camera, so that's brilliant. And I think this might have been too loud today, so I really do apologise. I'm going to try and speak quieter, but really, this is how loud I actually want to speak. But I can't, because that would be too loud. Okay, I love you guys. Till next time, I'm going to love you, and I'm going to leave you. Okay, cute.